Benevolence, dear mortals. You can call me Whimsical William. Welcome to my channel. Records, manga, video games, anime figures, drawing, art, cosplay, guitar, like astrophotography, stargazing. When is it too many hobbies? When is it too many passions? It's a question that I ask myself, and I think it's a question that some of you have asked yourselves this year. If you're anything like me, if you're someone who gets passionate about so many different things at the same time, and you wonder, when am I ever gonna have time to entertain and to give the love and time to all these things that make me happy or make me feel something? I've been asking myself a lot lately because I've tacked on a few hobbies that were either very old that I let resurface or hobbies that are just completely brand new. Like collecting vinyl, very new hobby for me. I didn't mean to get into it. Honestly, it's a pretty low maintenance hobby. It kind of can be as crazy as you want it. You could blow money on new control arms, the stylus. You could just blow so much money on different parts to make your record player just teeny tiny percent better or more custom or more unique. The slip covers, you get an acrylic one, you can get a felt one. There are a lot of different options to make the hobby fun. Collecting keyboards, mechanical keyboards, you could pop out the keys. You could change how loud they are, how quiet they are, the size. Each of these unique aspects make the hobby fun, but it costs money, time, and energy. I started playing guitar. I'm recently getting into astrophotography. That's an older one. Like, I've always been into astronomy. I love the planets, quasars, novas, supernovas, stars, just all the celestial bodies that are hundreds of thousands of light years away. Science is just a beautiful thing to me. I really enjoy all the different aspects of it, but space is the frontier that really gets me excited and really gets my imagination, just the wheels of my imagination turning, if you will. Video games, I love video games so much, and I don't have a lot of time to play them. Anime, I love watching anime. I love drawing. I haven't drawn in a very long time. And I find myself after work thinking, I gotta do something. And when you have all these different passions, if you're anything like me, you'll start to feel guilt about the ones that you neglect. And you keep them in the forefront of your mind. Like, all right, I haven't drawn in a month. It's on my mind, it's in my heart, I really wanna do it. But this new hobby is taking a lot of my concentration because I'm trying to get anywhere with it. Like guitar, I'm learning chords, I'm learning different techniques here and there. I let my violin collect dust because the guitar is a new shiny thing. At what point does it become, hey, this is the new fixation to get my mind off of things in my life that are bothering me, versus these are all the things I've always wanted to do. Life is short. I want to do all of it. And I think I find myself in the middle of those things where it's like, I don't really want to think about my mental health too much. I don't want to think about how much I'm burnt out. I just want to keep on buying cool stuff, and I want to keep on indulging in these hobbies and really enjoying the creativity that flows through me when I bounce off of one hobby to the next. I'm playing guitar, I feel stuck, I'll grab my violin. I'm playing violin, I'm having fun, but I'm in the mood to draw. I want to relax, I'll put some records on, and maybe I'll buy a few custom pieces to make my player a little bit cooler. Or I do more research and I'm like, hey, this record player is fully manual. Fully manual is more fun than fully automatic. Fully automatic makes me feel like I'm listening to a CD player. There's not enough involvement for me anymore. So I like the aspect of all these different hobbies require a certain amount of research, and I have to discern what's important information and what's throwaway filler information. Like important information for, records. The real cheap record players could potentially damage your precious vinyl. The really high-end nice ones sound a little bit better, but if your speakers aren't that good, it's really not going to make much of a difference. And if you're a type of person that likes to get everything bundled together, the expensive record player will come with nothing. You buy the record player, then you buy the speakers, then you buy different accessories to go with it to make it work, the preamp, etc. Just tacking on all these different hobbies. One is too much. I think that you have too many hobbies when some hobbies are completely ignored. They're not on your mind anymore, and they don't matter. And I think at that point, you gotta really think, does this new hobby make me as happy as the one that I'm neglecting? I guess it's time to consolidate, but I don't want to work that way. I want to do everything. I am embracing being a maximalist. I want to be the word polymath, just great at everything. I want to just be defined by creativity. Music, art, dance, everything creative, I want to be defined by that. So having ADHD, I realized that my main weakness is time consolidation, time management, and just management in general. So in order for me to pull off all these beautiful hobbies, kind of got to stop tacking on new hobbies. But I'm doing everything that brings me joy, and some of it's a part of childhood where it's like I never got the chance to pursue it all the way, so this is my chance. Some hobbies are just out of the way. Becoming a race car driver, it's a black hole for my wallet that I don't feel like investing in right now. But maybe one day I'll learn how to really work on cars and build something up and do that. But right now, my heart's with music and art and these other little hobbies like astrophotography. Astrophotography brings me a lot more joy than I thought. It gives me the sensation of a storm chaser chasing a storm when I'm looking up at the stars and I realize there's too much light pollution. I gotta go farther, I gotta get away from these lights. I'm looking for nebula. I'm looking for the sky is dark enough. Let me see if I can find Pluto. Let me struggle to find Mercury. Mercury is a very difficult planet to find because it's always near the sun, and the sun makes objects difficult to see because it emits so much light. So all these things are so fun. Guitar, there's specific music that I want to play, specific music that touches my heart when I hear it played on guitar. I love metal, I love hardcore, I love punk, but that math rock, there's something about those strange jazz grooves that really get me going, that Midwest emo, and that's what I've been really working on. Collecting anime figures is low and high maintenance, where it's like it costs a lot of money, especially with the tariffs and stuff going on. But once I collect them, they sit in my display case, and there's not really much more to do besides dust them off. So I'm consolidating these hobbies into what requires effort, what requires money, what requires a combination of both. What I can do on a daily basis versus what I can do on my days off. What takes an entire day, what takes more dedication. And I think that is where I'm starting to get my stuff together when it comes to managing so many hobbies. And for you, figure out what takes precedence, what takes the most effort, time, and money. Write it down. This is like my advice to myself, but also to all of you that are going through the same thing. You just have so many things that you love. I rambled through this video a lot, but the point that I just made, I want to reiterate. Let's write all of our hobbies out, and then 5 stars means maximum effort. $5 means maximum money. For example, collecting anime figures, $5, 2 stars, because it's like, all right, I got to find them in Japan sometimes. I want to find deals. I want to do research, make sure I'm not getting a fake bootleg. But it doesn't really require that much. I mean, I guess if you're new to anime figures, you want to know the difference between a prize figure, a scale figure. You want to know the different companies. You got Proof, you got Fat Company, you got Kotobukiya, you got all kinds of companies, all kinds of great Japanese companies and a few Chinese companies too. So it takes a little bit of research, but I give it 2 stars for effort. It doesn't really require much once you learn the basics. You could just buy anime figures. And of course, if you're a person that likes to save a little bit of money, maybe pre-ordering might help you out a little bit. I don't pre-order very much because a lot of the characters in animes that I like are kind of old school. Like I like Claire a lot from Claymore, Kill la Kill, Penny and Stocking. Black Lagoon is coming out with a new character, but that's an older anime, older figures. A lot of the older figures are coming out with new figures, which is amazing. I love it. But yeah, guitar. Guitar is something that, I mean, once you spend the money on your instrument, strings, a little bit of maintenance here and there, it doesn't have to cost that much. So I put $4 signs, but it takes maximum effort when you're just starting off. People really sleep on how difficult the guitar is. Like, learn your chords and then you learn your Dorian, Ionin, like all that different talk. Learning how to read sheet music is cool. It's not required, but I think it helps a lot. There's just so much to learn with that instrument, and I think it requires maximum time and effort. Collecting manga, I think it's more of a money pit than anime figures, because anime figure you buy one and maybe you could buy 2 or 3 from that anime, and that's really all that's available. For a manga, you get into One Piece, you're buying over 100 volumes. Get them in box sets if you're if you're thinking outside the box. Well, not outside the box, but like trying to save some money. But it's really an investment, and it looks like it's not. Oh, $10 here, $20 here, $15 there. It adds up real quick. So don't be misguided by the small price for one volume, because a lot of mangas have at least 10 volumes. What else? Vinyl collecting is getting really expensive. I want to say $5 signs, and for effort, 3. Like, you gotta learn how to handle your vinyl, how to maintain it, keep it clean. It requires a lot of storage, and it requires a delicacy and softness to your touch. You gotta know how to handle your records, or your investment is just trash. Like, you destroyed your investment. And they're worth money. Like, if they don't go up in value, they usually stay at the same value, which is pretty cool. What other hobbies? Astrophotography. That's one that's 5 money signs and 5 stars. It requires maximum effort. For me, like, I've bought so many random things that I didn't even think would go hand in hand with astrophotography until I really started researching. So I bought a park pass. I feel like an adult having that. I've never had one of those before, because I don't want to go to a park, stargaze, and then get a ticket, on my car while driving out there. Also, it takes maximum effort because my Big Mama telescope is massive. So I have to have a car to move it around. And to move it around the park, I bought a dolly. Did not think I'd need a dolly. I thought I could just pick it up and carry it to different locations, but I don't want to drop it or damage it, especially at night. I bought binoculars for astrophotography to be able to practice anywhere. It's portable, it's easy to use, and it keeps me motivated. Let's see, what else did I buy? I bought, I guess you can call it a stand or something like that, to hook up to my telescope so I can get good imaging. I want to take pictures from my phone first before I invest in a nicer camera. There's just so much to learn and so much to buy. And a decent telescope, I'm thinking like $300 or $400 to get you a decent telescope. It really depends on what you're trying to look at and what you're trying to do. If you're trying to look at deep sky objects, there's certain telescopes that work better than others. And if you're trying to look at planets or the moon, there's certain binoculars or telescopes that work better. But yeah, it requires maximum effort, and it's kind of an expensive hobby. It doesn't have to be, but if you really want to reap the best results, you're going to want to spend some money. So, I mean, I got like other hobbies like drawing. Drawing is amazing. It's a hobby that requires maximum time. And once you know how to do it, it kind of feels effortless unless you challenge yourself. And money, just grab an ink pen, grab a pencil. It's so cheap. Like, art Creating art could be like the cheapest thing ever. You could get away with $5, $6 if you want to, or you could spend $600 and get some of the best paper and the best tools. It's whatever you want to do, and I love that about art. And I'm gonna make some time to really indulge in it and enjoy it. I got more hobbies to talk about, but that's the gist of it. You can have too many hobbies, but if you consolidate them correctly, the limit gets a lot higher. But whatever makes you comfortable, don't be afraid to put things on a back burner to give your attention to new things or other things that you neglected. Don't feel that guilt that I felt and I still feel sometimes. Allow yourself to be flexible. Allow yourself to, oscillate around different things that you love and enjoy. Life is short, so don't just quit something if you don't have to. Keep it there, keep it on the back burner, and enjoy it. Sometimes, I don't read for a while, and then when it's raining, it's been raining a lot. I just been reading so much because of the rain. It really made me want to read. Sometimes when I'm relaxing, I'll get like a nice hot tea and I'll listen to my records. Sometimes I get home and I'm like, let's just play guitar, let's just lock it in. I'm writing a novel. I put that on the back burner for a while. Haven't forgot. I love my story. I love my characters. And I would love to be a writer as my career. I would love to get published. Still working on that dream. Don't stop working on things just because you have a lot of things to work on. Consolidate. That is the main takeaway from this video. Do not allow certain passions to fall to the wayside just because you got a lot of them. There's nothing wrong with being passionate about a lot of things, and there's nothing wrong with having a lot of hobbies. You can have too many, but that just means you have variety. So thanks once again for listening to this video. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already and you feel like it, subscribe. Helps the channel out a lot. Trying to work on getting 1K. It just sounds cool, looks cool. I would like to get to that goal. In the meantime, peace.